Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott! I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves to think and drink. It's Frank. How are you today?
I'm doing great, bud. I am looking forward to playing a game, having some fun.
Oh, a game, you say? Well, it's so fortunate that I also have a game that we can play, Frank. But first, before we play any games, tell me what you're drinking.
I am finishing up the last of my my go-to here in the summer, which is the Switchback Ale.
Very good. Switchback is an excellent choice. I'm also on my backup, my Sam Adams Summer, as we are
Nice.
as in the midst of summer. It is the backup of the backups. It makes it sound like we don't like Switchback or Sam Adams when we say they're just backups. They're not like the main one, but
For me anyway, like it's completely the other way. It's like this is a tried and true, like steady, dependable beer that I know I want to keep in the fridge because
I'm going to open it and I'm going to enjoy it, and I know it's going to be good the end.
Exactly. I know I'm going to enjoy it every time. Yeah.
Yep.
It's old faithful.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I like that. Speaking of Old Faithful, we're going back to a standard here, thinking and drinking, because what are we if we're not, talking about drinking and thinking all at the same time?
Yeah.
One of the points of the show really early on was to be like, we're, like you're hanging out with people.
Yes.
And nothing is really occurring. It's like the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Sort of. Yeah. It was like, let's, like our geeky conversations. Let's capture them. And so, yeah, that's what this is like. We're sitting at the bar and having conversations.
And here we go with our first question, a geeky question, actually, which is actually why I wanted to start. Excuse me. What mythological creature do you wish existed? Tough, right? I know there are so many to choose from, and you're like thinking somewhere in your brain, you're like, well, I don't want one that will cause havoc because I've seen things. I've seen Ring of Fire,
Right.
So,
I'm going to say King Kong.
oh, really specific mythological creature.
Sure. I mean, I could have said like a dragon or, whatever.
No, I like the named King Kong.
Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah. You want that Kong, right? Like 1930s Kong, not not, Kong
Not Peter
versus
Jackson.
Godzilla, not
Not De Laurentiis 70s. Yeah, no.
Excellent. That's a good choice. All right, if I'm going really specific mythological creature, I would love Robin Williams' genie to be real.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not just a genie. I want that genie specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say that. Because again, I could say a dragon or whatever, but harpies, sirens, mermaids, whatever. But
sure.
Yeah, no. Robin Williams' genie. That's the stuff. That's where it's at. I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
I did hear recently, speaking of mythical creatures, that unicorns were real, sort of. There is some evidence of one-horned animals, not a horse with a horn like we.
It's more like a rhinoceros, right?
Yes,
exactly. I did know that.
Like a rhinoceros. Mm-hmm. Yes, much like a rhinoceros. And that it was either a distant relative of the rhinoceros or just similar. But yes, that there probably was something called a unicorn in ancient times.
What's really funny is that people are like, "Oh, unicorn, so mythical." I'm like, it's just a horse with a horn.
It's just ours.
Like it's literally just a horse with a horn. Like that's actually like as far as like evolution is concerned, like that would one day be in like cows never had horns on them. Like that's so strange. Like no, it's a thing.
Once
like,
upon a time.
Yeah, they were called yaks. Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it is really funny. The like what people are like, oh no, that's too crazy.
That's wild.
That's so
wild and crazy.
At the zoo close to our house, they do these like animatronic exhibit things.
Oh, interesting.
And so last year they did dinosaurs, and this year they did mythical creatures. Right now, and so my daughter will be like, "Can we go see the mythical creatures?" And it's really funny to hear a 2-year-old be like, "Mythical creatures." Like, but we're going to see the mythical creatures. I will say hello to them.
Yeah. And
so we've gone, and there's like dragons and unicorns and mermaids, and like there's a kraken, and then like there's like they're just from like all over. There's phoenixes, and then they get like some of them get like really specific to Africa or Eurasia or any of these different continents, but in different places of the world. But you get to the end. And there's the Cyclops. Well, you get to the end. There's the Cyclops, but it's modeled after Ray Harryhausen's Cyclops,
nice.
Which is super fun. And then right next to him is a Yeti, but it looks like the Bumble from Rudolph.
Awesome,
which is awesome. Like yes, because some of them look pretty scary, and then you get to him, and you're like, you're just the cutest. You're just a big Bumble.
And you bounce.
And you Bumbles bounce. You eat what you like what you like. I like what I like. Whatever it is. And so and there's like a Cthulhu there because it's low. They said what are local ones to the area.
I was going to
so
say
they
that's
have
a local one for you.
A Dover Demon and because yours is the Dover Demon, right? Yeah, like in your area, right?
I don't even know anything about it.
Yeah, you should look that up. And so anyway, mine's Cthulhu, because it's, Providence. So,
right.
But anyway, that's cool. Anyway, that's my question. What's your question?
Yeah. All right. What 3 possessions would you rescue if your house was on fire?
What possessions?
Possessions?
I thought you said positions for a hot second, and I was like,
the northwest wall.
Yeah. This load-bearing wall would be helpful to have another load-bearing wall in my new home that's not burned down.
3 possessions if your house was on fire. What 3 things would you grab?
I mean, do the animals count as possessions?
No. The people and the animals were a given, right? Like
okay.
That's the free space on your bingo card. It's what possessions, what things, what objects.
Okay.
Would be important enough that you'd want to grab them and save them.
Okay. Thank goodness that like photos are on your phone and stuff like that now.
Right.
Like I'm assuming that kind of stuff is, off the table.
Replaceable.
I think I would. This is an excellent question.
Good,
okay,
right?
so I have a Batman pop signed by a lot of very famous Batman and influential Batman people. I think I saved that. I have it right above me. If you hold on for 1 second, if for dead air, perhaps, so I can get it, and I'll tell you who's on it.
Sure. I wonder if this is the one that
It's definitely the one that you think of. So
okay.
So it's signed by Kevin Conroy, Frank Miller, Brian Azzarello,
right?
Jay Lee, and the guy. Oh my gosh, Ben McKenzie, who played James Gordon in the Gotham TV show and Batman in Batman Year One.
Yes.
Jay Lee, Kevin Conroy, Ben McKenzie, Brian Azzarello, Frank Miller, and David Finch.
David Finch. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that's I got this signed in 2012 from Frank Miller. That's how old this is already. So anyway, wild. They're all on one pop, and so not all at the same time. I didn't get them. It's just a generic like little Batman pop. But I got them all signed at different times. One's in 2012, 2017, 2016, all over the place. But
sure.
Yeah, that's I'd probably save this because this is worth a lot of time and money.
Yes.
Great question. What else would I save? I got some good stuff, Frank. I'd probably save my most cherished copy of Lord of the Rings. Even though Lord of the Rings is quite replaceable, I assume if my whole house is burning down, I'm going to need something to do.
Sure.
With my time, so I wouldn't mind saving that. And this is gonna be stupid. Like, I'm gonna say, like, should I save my iPad or something like that?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna say what geeky things will I save? Oh, I would save. So I have a few different pages of comic art and original art, but I would say, weirdly, so even though he's not like my favorite character or anything, I think my favorite page that I own is by an artist called Don Kramer, who was the artist on Batman, he was the artist on Detective Comics right at the 1 year later jump after Crisis on Infinite Earths. But before that, he was the artist on JSA. And I have a page of Mr. Terrific fighting members of the KKK. And there's one panel where it's just Mr. Terrific's jacket, like in his sleeve, and he's punching a member of the KKK right in the face, and you can see the fair play right on the panel in the panel page, and it's an amazing page, and I love it so much. And it's even though he's not like my favorite guy, like that page is my favorite out of all the ones that is Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, whatever I'm looking at. So I think those are the three things I'd save.
For me, those are good, by the way. Those are very good.
Thank you.
Very good choices.
I was looking around my office going,
sure. Same. I'm doing the same thing here, right? Like I'd spur of the moment for both of us. I think I would go with my Adam West autograph.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because for lots of reasons, but just one of which being that he's no longer with us.
Yep.
I also have Peter Mayhew, who is also no longer with us, but
also no longer
something
with
about
us,
Adam
right?
West feels like that's the one that I want to lean towards. Definitely would want to save some records or a record.
Sure. A Beatles record, maybe.
Probably. Yeah. Probably a Beatles record, one of my Beatles records. Maybe, I don't know, it could be a different one, depending on the day, but just off the top of my head right now, I have an original UK pressing of Sgt. Pepper from like first run.
Ooh.
So that's probably one I'd want to save. And then the last thing I would want to save. I have a small vial of gravel from the Kent farm from Smallville.
Oh yes.
This is when I went there. I grabbed some of the driveway gravel.
Nice.
As a memento of my visit. So that's one that's not easily replaceable. And is has significant sentimental value.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, those
cool.
are probably the things I'd go with. Beatles record, autograph, Adam West autograph, and Smallville driveway gravel.
Nice, great ones. Very good, very very good. What sound do you hate to hear?
Ooh, my toddler crying in the middle of the night.
Yeah, same though.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's very real. Is there a sound that you hear and you're like, oh no, that goes right through me. Don't like that.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, like mine is like styrofoam rubbing together.
Oh,
like like you get something and you got to pull the cheap styrofoam out of the box. I can't stand that. Yeah.
See, I don't have a lot of those. I have sensory things, but sound is not one of the big ones.
Oh, fascinating.
For me, like nails on a chalkboard, whatever.
Yeah, like
things
unpleasant, but not undoable.
Right. Like everyone around me will be cringing and covering their ears. And I'm like, I mean, it wasn't fun, but it's like, I'm not in pain. Like it seems like everyone else is. So I'm not as
I think
people
overreact to things that they know that there's too. Like, I don't think it bothers people the same, like, as much as they say. Some people it does, not everybody.
Yes. Some people it does, but I think a lot of the people are sort of performing it a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, apart from my crying toddler, I would, like squeaking brakes from a truck. Like when a truck rolls to a very, very slow stop and it's a very long, loud squeak. That's an unpleasant sound.
Okay, that's good. I said mine.
That one.
Styrofoam.
Yeah.
So we're on to your question.
Okay. So, what is your favorite way to spend a rainy day? Or what's the best way to spend a rainy day? Not necessarily something you've done, but like, describe your perfect rainy day.
I think if I was by myself, like, it's funny when you're a parent, you think like, well, a rainy day, I'd be stuck inside. I wouldn't be able to take the kids outside. So what would I do?
But like best way to spend a rainy, right? Yeah. Best. So only the people that you want are to be there are there. Let's say, if it's you and your wife, if it's you alone, if it's you and your whole family, whatever.
I would think I think revisiting so this is something a little we did when we were kids, but it's something that I would look forward to doing as we get older, is revisiting home movies.
Oh,
it's a great rainy day activity, like going backwards and like looking at memories from many years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago for kids. I think that's a great activity, or just even like cozying up to comfort, books or comfort food or, anything like that. That goes a long way with me. The cozy vibes.
I'm big into cozy rainy days for sure. Similar. My house, the how to explain the ceiling throughout most of my house is the roof. Like there's not like an attic above it. It is like the other side of the ceiling is the roof. So you can hear the raindrops falling, and it gives a very cozy sound. I love it. It's a very, very cozy sound. Very comforting. But so that's great. I would love like a fireplace, to be binge watching some comfort TV. Maybe that's having a Star Wars marathon. Maybe that's watching, The Office. But like fireplace, comfort TV, and definitely some kind of comfort food. Maybe I don't know, grilled cheese and tomato soup or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Yeah, right on. Okay, so we can get a little challenging. Name a song. Now describe it using only colors and flavors.
Whoa!
I should have had you name the song first, and then you would have been stuck.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. The song Helter Skelter by the Beatles.
Okay.
Is red, and it's colors and flavors, right?
Yep.
It's red and metallic tasting, and it's sharp, jagged red metallic tasting pieces.
That's really good. That's good. I'm gonna go with an entirely different area, and I'm gonna say, the first thought that came in my head is Yellow Submarine, which is so stupid. Like, as far as like it's yellow.
It's yellow.
Like, but I want to like try to avoid it because like the color is right there. So
It's yellow and it tastes like drugs.
it tastes like drugs. I'm gonna go with The Winner Takes It All, ABBA, and the color is blue, windswept, like light blue, and it's almost, it's got like, it's kind of light and airy, like puff almost, but then it's but then there's a crunchy center, like like that's like you gotta mash it a little bit. So
yes.
But even though it's heavy, it's still kind of light. Yeah, that's really hard. It's a really hard question.
It's a hard,
yeah, it's a really hard question.
Yeah,
it's a good one though.
I think for some people it actually would be very easy. Like people who tend, like, there are folks who tend to sort of see colors when they think about songs or what have you. Yeah, so that'd be fun to hear someone who does think that way. To say like how right or wrong are we?
Yeah, right.
Right. If that's you, if you're listening and that describes you, I want to hear from you. beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. Let us know were we right or wrong. Okay. What is something you've learned in the last month?
Probably important things. Okay. This one is a little. I gotta bring R2 out on this. For the swearing.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody's ears just hurt a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So I learned, you may have seen this video or may not have, that the etymology, if you in etymological terms, meaning like the root of words, that the word one of the naughty words for poop, shit, basically boils down etymologically as the same to be separated from, but then like as the roots go up in another way, it boils down to science. So in just pure in the science of words, like to know your it means that you're really good at science. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think Damon sent us that video, I think, now that I think about it. But anyway, that's what I learned. It's very interesting. What
Mine is very in line with my interests, if you know me at all. Are you familiar with do you know the story that George Harrison's first wife also then married Eric Clapton?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I also learned this. I forgot that I learned this. But I did, yeah.
This I already knew, but related to this fact, he wrote the song Layla for her. The song Something was written for her. Like this woman had some of the best love songs of all time written about her. She was a muse of these great musicians. Well, her name is Pattie Boyd. Pattie Boyd's sister Jenny was also in a rock star marriage. She was married to Mick Fleetwood, the founder of Fleetwood Mac.
Whoa.
Twice. She married him twice and divorced him twice.
Whoa. What? I actually didn't know that. That's not where I thought you were going with that. That's crazy. So
I knew about Pattie Boyd being married to George and Clapton. Did not know Jenny Boyd was married to Mick Fleetwood.
It's funny how small the world is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something that we kind of learned together because it was in the same group thread. I don't know if you thought about this, that you and I are only 4 people separated from Harrison Ford.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because our friend Dan, his brother, works for Weta. And that brother, his college roommate, is the current director of the new Captain America movie starring Harrison Ford.
Wild.
We're only 4 people removed from Harrison Ford. I probably maybe even less than that because Harrison Ford has a house like, you know, in a town 2 towns over from where I grew up, and so like he goes to that grocery store or whatever, and so like I probably know people that know him and whatever. I've met him or run groceries out for him, but that's definitely we're 4 people from Harrison Ford.
You're 4 people at most.
At most from Harrison Ford. At absolute
nice.
Most. Yeah,
nice.
Pretty cool.
I love that.
Pretty cool. I mean, technically, we're then also like 4 from like Anthony Mackie and like whatever, but you know, like it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford is.
That's the best one. That's the best one. Which then, like, technically, if we're 4 people removed from Anthony Mackie, then we're only 5 people removed from Robert Downey Jr.
Sure.
And like basically almost every
or Mark Hamill.
Or Mark Hamill, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're 5 people removed from George Lucas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, technically, we were even less than that. We met Peter Mayhew, so technically, we're 1 person removed from Harrison Ford.
Valid. Very valid.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway.
That's funny.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. All right. That was your question, right?
That was mine, yes.
All right. I got a question that will remind you of Smallville, because it's what reminded me of Smallville right away. What would you make your clones do? Assuming you had them. This is not an ethical question. You just have them. It's a thing that happens.
They already exist.
What would you make them do?
What would I make them do? The chores that I don't want to do. They could run my household and take out the trash and you know, wash the dishes and do the laundry and stuff, so that I can spend the rest of my time like hanging out with my family.
Yeah, I think
doing fun stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be somewhat similar, but I think it would be like a more like, what do I feel like doing today? Like, what do I feel like doing today? Like, do I want to go to work? Do I want to be home? Like, do I want to take a mental health day? Do I want to empty the dishwasher? You know, whatever. Or maybe it's an equal partnership and we just draw straws every day. I'm like, today you're working today. You're on chore duty. You're on accounting duty. Whatever. Lyle, you're always on. That's what I call myself in my head. Lyle, I say to myself. You know, so you're on weed whacking duty, because I hate that. I hate that nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. Let's say yours. Last question.
Yes. What? Ooh. Okay. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a paleontologist.
That tracks.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it's not like a mystery or
No.
anything. Yeah. No, I wanted to be a paleontologist, and then I discovered that science is not my forte.
Yeah.
So I just went in a different direction. Like, what do you mean I need to know chemistry? All right, smell ya.
You know, Bill Nye the Science Guy really made me think that I was going to be good at science. Because I was like, oh, okay, I get these concepts. I understand. Like, I guess I'm scientifically inclined. You know, today we would say like, oh, I guess I'll go into STEM, but
nope.
Yeah, no. When it came down to, you know, actual biology and chemistry and even physics class, it's like there's a lot of math. There's a whole lot of math involved in this that I was not counting on.
Yep. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like watching Bob Ross paint, and you're like, I could do that too. It's so, look how easy he makes it. You just tilt the brush a little bit, and you're like, not even close can I do that. Not even close can I do what you're doing.
Those trees aren't happy.
They're not happy. They are melting. What is happening? Yeah, those trees are not happy at all. My distant cousin Bob Ross or something. Whatever. Crazy. I also learned that, but not this month. So, but anyway, Frank, great questions. We will come back with Thinking and Drinking another time. And before we do that, where can the people find us?
You can find us over at beerwithgeeks.com. That is our headquarters on the internet. You can find the full archive of old episodes there. You can search for any and all topics or beers that we've discussed. You can support us financially at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio and help us to keep making the show. Thank you to everyone who does that. Thank you also to everyone who supports us with their moral support by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts and all the other podcast apps, and by subscribing, because those things go a long way and help. And just by telling a friend to check it out in whatever podcast app they like. Yes, thank you for all of those things. Those are the ways to find us, support us, etc. Tim.
Etc., etc., etc. Well, until next time, Frank, etc. to you, and cheers.
Cheers.